We've got some problems with the BTC ETFs as outflows are starting to appear. But I promise this is good for you, the crypto consumer. We're also going to talk XRP, ICP, and SOL price action. They're starting to move differently, and you got to see this. And IPO action slated for March. I know there's going to be a ton of you out there that are going to be interested in this IPO that I'm going to share with you. Crypto community, we're making things happen. And did you notice the pretty white doggy hanging out in the chaise in the background? She just blends right in. The Fozman says, why would any company go IPO? They risk the potential of being naked, shorted to nothing. Gary does absolutely nothing about this. You know, that's actually really true. And it says Ripple can tokenize their own shares. That wouldn't do anything. Tokenizing your own shares wouldn't do a darn thing. So the reason these companies go IPO is usually to raise money. I mean, think about it, right? When you go IPO, you start dumping your shares on the market for people to buy them so that you can have some investment capital to work with. So Ripple going IPO would make great sense. Why? Well, it's another way to bring money in, another way to get investors in so they can further their vision. The investors make some money, they make some money. All is well and good. Wait to the end when I share the IPO news with you. Mr. Unix CU9Y says, what? You're not my dad the whole time? What? I still love you, Klaus. No, I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad. I bring the news, whether it's good or bad. Thank you very much. All right, Bitcoin's sitting at 42,565. What do we got up on the screen? We got volume, baby. We're not showing market cap. This is volume. So now you're seeing big volume in BTC, big volume in ETH. Big volume in FDUSD. Why? Because it depegged. Yeah, it depegged. Got to like 97 something cents. Starting to build its way on back. SOL sitting at 98. We're going to talk SOL price action. ARB down big here. XRP trading big, but right now sitting at 56.2. XLM, the volume is super small. It's all the way over here at 11.7. HBAR, a little bit of a pullback as well. What else are we seeing? Chili's, Bonk, Rune. Grayscale sees over 477 million Bitcoin exodus as BlackRock and Fidelity ETFs bolster holdings. When this ETF stuff came out, I told everyone out there, this is going to be good for you. Why? Because it's going to increase competition. And the more there's competition within a certain product space, the consumer will always win. Think about this, right? Let's buy something. What do you want to buy? Let's buy a cell phone. Okay? So, what if there was only one cell phone maker out there? They could charge whatever they wanted, right? They'd be like, look, you want a cell phone? Guess what? It's going to cost you $1,000. Now, what if a couple more people come into this place and they're like, well, you know what? We've got equally good products, but we're going to charge you $700. All of a sudden, the first company's like, oh shit, we're not going to sell anything if we're charging $1,000 and they're charging $700. Then another company comes in and play and is like, yo, I got you both beat. I can cut my costs. I can make sure I make this cheaper. I'm going to make the same product, but I'm going to sell it for $600. Now, all of a sudden, the consumer's like, whoa, a product that started at $1,000 is now $600 for the same quality. Why? Because we have more competition in the space. And that's what's happening here, and that's what's going to happen to all of us. We're going to get better prices, right? Better price for buying and selling because of competition. As of Wednesday, January 17th, data from Grayscale's GBTC web portal shows the fund's holdings have decreased. 605,000 BTC from 617. So they've lost 12,000 BTC. That is about $477 million of outflow. Why? Because their fees are freaking through the roof. Their fees are like 1.5%. Some people out there are going as low as 0.24%, 0.25%. So just like with the cell phone idea, you got Grayscale. Grayscale's like, hey, here's our $1,000 phone. Well, guess what? BlackRock's iShares is like, hey, we offer the same thing, but guess what? This only costs you $600. Where do you think people are going to go? iShares. In contrast, I'll say that. I'll leave that in there. I messed up too. In contrast, BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust, according to its web portal, currently possesses 16,000 BTC. Guess what, everyone? That's way higher than its previous levels of 5,500. So more people are flowing in to that fund because it's better price-wise. Good for the consumer. All right, let's start talking price-wise. This is SOL. Last couple months here. SOL has made the move and has held on. Now, where do you see the obvious battle for SOL? Right at $100. Plain and simple. It's right at $100. And hey, as long as Sol keeps at this point right here, a lot of the market is going to be in the positive. Now, if Sol starts retracing down to here, we know it's going to pull a lot of things down with it. How about all those meme coins that are on Sol that a lot of people were putting volume in, right? See, that could go down as well. ICP, you see the story, it's 1250. Can ICP hold on to that 1250 as much as possible? We would love to see it. Now, they start breaking down into that 10 range again. Oh man, we just erased this last pump from the first part of this year. We then have to start looking at December holding times. So you can see an obvious pattern from ICP and SOL. Two cryptos here that have pumped pretty big in the last couple months. Now, when we look at XRP price action, and don't worry everyone, I've got a massive IPO announcement for you at the end. When we look at XRP, it's actually just the opposite. See this move here on the left-hand side of the screen? This move was the ETF fake news pump. Okay? This is when they said, oh, the ETFs are approved. This candlestick right here that did not last, this was the XRP ETF, which was fake as well. So you can see since the same time period, XRP has had that initial move, right? The initial excitement of the ETFs, XRP ETF, BTC ETF, and then has since been a buy the rumor, sell the news event. But look how different it looks with ICP along with SOL. What's interesting about this too, right, is if you zoom out, look at the volume. Kind of ups and downs all over the place here, right, with XRP. People buying the dip, selling the tip, people making some money, get it. Look at ICP. Volume, poop, 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 poop. And then it comes alive. A little bit now of a slowdown, and you're seeing that slowdown here translate with the price. What about SOL? Same thing. Poop, 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 boom. She starts moving. So you're definitely starting to see some separation in the crypto markets with some individual products. Now, can we see some juicy XRP price action? We're going to need something big to happen. Because, I mean, as you can see, especially in this move here, this is not looking strong. This is the ETF move. We've lost since the ETF. And remember, a lot of channels out there were selling you, oh, ETF, we're going to moon. So if BTC ETF didn't moon BTC, how would an XRP ETF moon XRP? Interesting, isn't it? All right, let's talk about the IPO because that's what most of you care about. Reddit reportedly seeks to launch the IPO in March. Now, they're doing this because valuations are looking better. A couple years ago, there was a whole bunch of stacks, a whole bunch of IPOs. It was crazy. Why? Because money was flowing like crazy. Money, printer, go burr. But now that money was expensive for a few years, people stopped the IPOs. Valuation went down. Well, now that things are starting to pick back up, valuations are going up, which means these companies are like, yo, we want to launch an IPO. Why do they launch an IPO? Well, Foz, man, because they want to find another way to raise capital so they can expand their vision, all right? So Reddit is here going, dude, we've got this. I think this is extremely important. Why? Because a lot of us here use Reddit. A lot of people in the crypto community use Reddit. This would be a really, really good thing. It would be the first IPO of a major social media company since Pinterest debuted in 2019. Pinterest. And would come as Reddit and its peers face stiff competition for advertising dollars. See, it's all about the advertising dollars. You being the product. So if you wonder why Crypto Geek News lies about $589 XRP all the time, if you wonder why eGrad Crypto is always calling XRP to $125, because that gets more views than me saying XRP is going to go to $1 at max. And the worst part about it is I'm way more true than them, but I get less views. Why? Because truth doesn't sell. We're looking at this going, wait a minute. Why are they doing this? Because advertising money, okay? The company would also test the willingness of some Reddit users to back the company's stock market debut. Reddit, which filed confidentially for its IPO since December 2021, is planning to make its public filing late in February, launching its roadshow in early March, and completing the IPO by the end of March. Would you be getting into it? Let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious how many of y'all would get into it. The company, which generates revenue primarily through advertising and also offers access for $5.99 a month, has yet to turn profit. So again, why do companies want to go IPO? To raise money. In this case, Reddit has yet to turn a profit. So if they can bolster their coffers with some IPO launch money, that would give them more runway to turn a profit, to then be able to be sustainable. Interesting, isn't it? The company held back pulling the IPO trigger until it came closer to profitability. Bouts of volatility shut down the IPO market for much of the last 2 years. Reddit expected to generate slightly over $800 million in advertising revenue, up 20% from the year before. So it makes sense. They want to keep your eyeballs on the screen. You are the product. So yes, why is XRP going to go to $125? Not because it's going to, but because you're the product. Why are content creators that never talked about any of this stuff talking about it now? Because you are the product. And excitement, extreme sells. That's why people call for XRP to $125, because that shit sells a lot better than me saying, dude, if we're lucky, we'll go to $1. Even if, well, one of the two of us is a lot more truthful than the others. Oh, see, now you can see the pretty girl laying on the chaise, right, Leia? Oh, she's way out. Oh, no, there she is. She's waking up now. But some of you out there are like, okay, so why even bring up this news with the IPO if it's not about Ripple IPOing or Stellar or any of the other big crypto companies out there? It's because I'm showing you that the IPO market is starting to thaw. A few days ago, I did a video regarding Circle. Now, I think Circle is one of the biggest pieces of shit out there. Jeremy Allaire, scumbag. The whole organization is a fake it till you make it, just shithouse. They also said, though, despite being a shithouse, they also said that guess what? They're going to be looking to IPO here soon because conditions are getting better monetarily. So we're getting more and more players in the market, both crypto direct and crypto peripheral, saying, you know what? Things are turning around. There's some advertising money flowing. We could get into this now. We could make some juicy money. You weren't hearing that a year ago. No one wanted to release an IPO a year ago as the market was just like dead, just flopping like a fish out of water. But now the market is starting to wake up. And that's why I'm sharing stories with you. So for those of you out there that are like, bro, you don't ever bring up good news. Well, guess what? The Ripple IPO is extremely good news because it's letting us know out there that market conditions are starting to thaw and become more favorable. Money is starting to be more readily available, readily spendable, and attract investors. That's really good news. Because who wants to launch an IPO when economic conditions suck? So for those of you out there that say, Klaus, you don't ever bring the good news. Well, guess what I have for you? I have a big dose of go fuck yourself. Ah, pretty cool, isn't it? I do bring good news. I bring news whether it's good or bad, happy or sad. And no, I'm not your dad. Catch you cool cats later.